age and I'm autistic. You are not autistic. Well, you don't know who I am at all, so how can you even make that judgment? You're nothing like my son, who's 5 years old and a boy and autistic. That's funny, because I'm actually a 20-year-old woman, so of course I'm nothing like your 5-year-old son. You don't look autistic. What does autism look like? It looks like my 5-year-old autistic son. Do you know that every person who's autistic is different? Just like any other human being ever? And that I'm especially going to be different from a 5-year-old boy? Yes, but there are some things that are the same. This is true, and this is why I'm diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. But you don't show it that well. That's because this is a 60-second TikTok that is scripted. And I am a 20-year-old woman. I am not having a meltdown 24/7. I'm not showing you what I'm like at my lowest because I have clients and I don't know you, nor do I trust you. And if I don't fit what you think autism is, that's not my fault nor my problem, nor do I need to change to fit them. You need to change what you think autism looks like.
Would you date someone with a disability? And if your honest gut reaction is maybe not, I'm curious why. I realize that the politically correct answer is to be like, of course I would date someone who's disabled. But the reality is that so many people with disabilities have difficulty finding people to be with because of a lot of fear and misunderstanding. So I'm curious if you're willing to share, and I will not judge you for your answer, what hesitations do you have or fears do you have when it comes to dating someone who is disabled? In honor of Limb Loss Awareness Month, I will be answering some of these fears and concerns in upcoming videos.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You are watching On the Town, and I'm your host, Tanya. I just heard that feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. I apologize. Hey, what's up, everybody? You are watching On the Town, and I'm your host, Tanya. I just heard that feedback. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I don't know what just happened. Hey, what's up, everybody? Let me see. Why am I getting feedback? So
no. We got
a technical difficulty here. Let me try it again. Can you hear me, Dante?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Sorry about that.
Oh, no. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, let's see what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. That's really a technical difficulty. I have no idea. It might be because of the headphones. I'm not sure, because this program is weird. I have no idea, but it's okay. It stopped, thank God. So welcome back, guys. As you can see, it's Zoom world once again. And we're back this week with special guests. First, I want to talk to you about something. So it is assumed that people with disabilities and that are on the spectrum can't really follow their dreams. Well, our guest tonight is advocating in an empowering way. And, you know, he's basically here because I wanted him to talk about all the fabulous things that he does at Suitman Productions. He is the founder of Suitman Productions, and he puts on the best shows you ever want to see. And so please welcome my guest, Duante Barnett. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties.
Actually, it might have been my fault. I was trying to share it, right? And I opened it up and my audio loops back in. I didn't know you unmuted me. So I just didn't take the blame at first. I was like,
thank you.
Program. Yeah, you weren't supposed to unmute me yet. I was trying to help Gina get in here. You saw her just comment on the show that she got in. But I shared the YouTube link so that way we could get some people watching it a little bit more. But yeah, that's all. That was my fault. I just didn't. I wasn't going to tell on myself. I was like, nah, I don't know what's going on. Fuck that. I'm a producer. You just let somebody else get blamed.
That's hilarious. And it's funny because when you were going to be talking, I was going to share it with her. So Gina, you were about to get hit with this link real quick anyway.
Yeah, we were going to get you in here somehow, some way, right?
That's awesome. Hi, Gina, and hi, Donna and Tony. I see you out there, guys. I was watching one of your shows, Dating with Disabilities, the Zoom show. So how did you come up with these concepts is what I want to know. And, you know, can you tell us about your personal experience and what inspired you to start this?
Suitman Productions has basically been started to give us who are not the status quo, basically those who aren't white Americans. And what I mean by that is if you go to most comedy clubs, you see white guys. And a lot of people don't understand. I think it's like probably at least 70 to 80% of all clubs are ran by white males, right? And so if the gatekeeper of who gets to perform and who we think is funny and what shows we do are white Caucasian males, usually straight males at that, how many different people aren't found funny aren't found interesting or aren't booked because of that.
A lot.
And so if you look at my shows, it's shows full of quote unquote outliers, right? So
Right.
you have the Black and Proud show, which is the Black and LGBTQ. We have Soul Sister Sundays, which is our Black woman show. You have Raw, which is Ridiculously Amazing Women, right? These are all things that you don't usually get a full lineup of, right? Mixed and Misidentified, which we're starting in 2 hours. A whole bunch of mixies like me, right? Where else do you see like 20 countries represented on one show, right?
Wow.
So these are all things that are different. And so I had a friend in high school, and this is kind of fucked up because there's a stigma with being autistic. There's a stigma with the R word. And I make a joke about if I can say the N word, I can say the R word. Right? And some people don't like that, but I'm taking it back. Like if I'm mixed, I can do both, right? Like, you know what I mean? But the show started because a good friend of mine, Audra from high school, was like, I want to do a podcast and I think you'd be great for it. And I've been trying to branch out and whatever. If you have a podcast, if you have a cooking show, if you have a game show, I'll do it. I'll do anything, right? And so we sat down and talked. And before we could get off the phone, because all she said she wanted to do a podcast, I was like, I got an idea. Why don't we interview comedians and people who are autistic who do entertainment? That's fantastic. And then my artist who does all my work, Jane Jira Draws. If you're looking for logo work, look up Jane Jira Draws, right? But she does all my flyers, all my logos. And I asked her about doing it. And she was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'll do the logo, right? She's like, I got this. So we had a meeting with Jane. And Jane gets on the call and goes, I'm autistic. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. And then Audrey goes, well, we're autistic too. And I was like, what do you mean we? And she's like, aren't you autistic? I mean, you seemed autistic in high school. And I was like, hey, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, take that back. They don't call me that. That's a bad word. Fuck you. What do you mean I'm autistic? This is bullshit. No. I didn't sign up for this, right? And so but it's true. You know, I think back to school and I was always sent to portables, and most Black kids are diagnosed behavioral disorder instead of mental disorder or learning disability. And there's a huge dichotomy in how you're treated based upon it being a behavioral disorder versus mental disorder. One gets you an IEP and money and long-term Social Security benefits. One does not.
Wow. That's
most kids that end up in behavioral classes end up in juvenile and then end up in prison. So it's the classroom to prison syndrome. And a lot of these kids, I guarantee you, are ADHD, autistic, Asperger's, all these different things. But since they're white teachers, which is, again, 80 to 90% of what we see, can't deal with these students, they're now put in special classrooms, or like we used to be told, boiler room kids, right?
Yes.
So we take this one step further. I do Deaf Comedy Jam, which is a show. I know most people are like, we've heard of it. And I'm like, no, you haven't. It's DEAF. We translate comedy for both a deaf and a hearing audience, right? And so I got fans internationally, and out of nowhere, Benny Shakes out of the United Kingdom messaged me and said, I want you on my show. And I didn't know who Benny was, and I looked it up, and he's big news over there, right? And then he was like, Blue Glasses Girl wanted you on the show because she's a huge fan of what you're doing. And I was like, I got a fan? Yeah, I'm definitely doing the show, right? And so we did my interview, and we got to talking, and I had forgot to bring up the fact that there was now there's different types of mental disabilities and spectrums of these things. And so there's a girl who's like 30 years old. She comes to our local bars, she drinks, and one of my buddies asked me to give her a ride home one day, and I did. No questions asked, but I know she's not all there. And so we were talking about dating with disabilities. That's how the show came up, because I talked about how if you're in full mental capacity and it's not right for you to date somebody whose mental capacity is 12 years old. I don't care how physically developed they are. If they don't understand what sex is or where babies come from, and you do, that doesn't seem fair.
Absolutely.
And then we started talking about some of these other things, and I was like, well, why don't we do a show called Dating with Disabilities?
It's a great show.
It's a transcontinental podcast. For those who don't understand the word, it's half UK, half US.
Yes.
And then it's full spectrum disabilities. We have both mental and physical disabilities, if not both.
Okay.
So on one end of the spectrum, I like to say I'm the far end of the spectrum. People look at me and don't think I have anything. And I'm both partial deaf, Asperger's, and high anxiety.
Okay.
And then you have Benny Shakes, who's cerebral palsy, and so he's shaking half the time, and
Yeah.
he doesn't quite say his words right. So you've got somebody who looks disabled and somebody who doesn't, and we all talk about the same topics.
That's fabulous.
And it's
I
just
loved it. I was
awesome.
watching it. I couldn't stop. I was like, is there any more in here? I was like, come on, this can't be over, because nothing better than real people with real issues with real solutions. And I just feel like you just said, you know what? I don't see anything like this. So I need to be the one to create this, because that's the only way it's going to change. And you just run with it. And I watch other comics, because you have comics as well. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. To me, it just seems like
the word. It's half. Sorry, it happened again. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's all right. I just feel like it's just an opportunity.
US.
Yeah.
And then it's full spectrum. What the hell's going on? I had to close it again. God damn it. No, it's my damn computer. People are messaging. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
I know. See, so he's a very popular, people. We can't help it. So let me ask you now: for you to find people to either be on your shows or to be on the dating podcast, do they come to you? I know some of you said they found you or you talked about it or whatever, but for you to find the other people, do you just talk to people and then they tell you about someone and then they come, or do they call you and inbox you? How does that work?
So there's a couple ways to look at this. The first way, so for autastic artists, autastic is the combination of autistic and fantastic, right? And so for autastic artists, right, it's a little bit different, because you have to be autistic.
Okay.
That is you have to be Asperger's. Now you can be self-diagnosed, because we understand, like most Black people, we start about this, we don't get diagnosed. So we're not going to discriminate on that part. Right. But the one thing is we need people to be Asperger's. There's no way around that. Okay. So we send it out. We have a network of people we know, right? We have different people we know. We go through the network. We ask them what they want to do. We do all different kinds of things. It's just different.
Okay.
And so it's one of those where we work to make sure that everybody gets a chance. We have some people that we work with inside our network that we're messaging and we're doing things with. We have other people that we don't get to, and I just post in different groups and they find it. We have people who watch the show and reach out to be a part of it. So it just kind of all depends, you know what I mean?
How do you get the team for all that? Because I see you doing mad shows. I'm like, where does he get and you're doing live stuff now that the pandemic has stopped. How's that going? Because how do you get the hands to help you with all this?
You just do it. There's some people who do it. You know what I mean?
Right. I guess that's true. Now, do you think it works so well because you're able to, like, you have a couple gifts besides your comedy thing, but also you have an eye to see, you see the need on both sides, and you merge them together, the talent and that and you see that there is an audience for that.
It's giving the audience. It's one of those where you can't really control who's going to be what. You can't control who's in charge of showing up, but what you can control is offering a product that other people don't have.
I like that.
If there's, how can I put it? Nobody told Henry Ford to make the fastest car alive, right? Nobody told the guy who started Evian to start bottling water, right? Nobody told, the Negro Leagues to start. They just started, right?
Right.
And what I mean by that is if you're going to break the mold and do something different and break the trends, right, then you've got to be different.
I like that. I see one of our it's actually Gina. Who else? Anybody else? I'll make sure I miss anybody. Gina has a question. Do you mind answering? Let's
No, I
see.
don't mind.
She said, my son has an IEP his whole life. There was never any money. We got some help, but it was such a struggle. He's now 21. I'm reading that my way. Sorry. Duante, what advice would you give to a kid who is 21, struggling with trade school with an IQ of 186, but struggling with getting help, showering and doing simple things? He stays up all night, then gets up at 3 a.m. and does homework. How do kids like my son learn how to get through the day to overcoming?
So what I would say is it starts with yourself. What are your goals? I did my online, most of my school was online. There are jobs that are remote. He's got to find his passion. Like, I don't know, I'm 39 years old and I just now made Suitman Productions and just now started becoming steady in this and just now started having a track record of some sort of success and a mission and finding something that I can really believe in and move with, right? So it just depends, you know what I mean? If is everybody the same? No, but how do you get your son through the day to overcoming? Well, maybe he's a night person.
Right.
Who says you need to be up during the day, right? Why can't you be, you know what I mean, successful and still work a night job? You could work at Amazon from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and sleep during the day if that's what you want. He can become a gamer. He can become all these other different things. So I wouldn't say there's an advice. It's just, what do you want to do?
Right.
And find that and find people that want to be that. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people out there that don't. Your kid's successful in so many different ways, but how is he not? That's not what we gauge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, it's okay. He is a night person. He just has the same issues at any time. Hey, we all have issues, and we, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's not. How can I put it? We're so worried about being normal and being in the norm and having people that can be gauged as normal or all these different things, and it's like there's no such thing as normal.
Exactly. I was going to say, I told my daughter once, I was doing something, I don't know what it was, and she said, what are you doing? I said, oh, I think we all have a touch of whatever the spectrums are, honestly. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, think about when you when you do space daydreaming, right? Think about it. I mean, this is for me. When I do space, someone walks by and you don't even see it because you're so invoked in the thought or whatever it is, right? Or when, so many things I can think of that I said, that's really, whatever that is, that trip system that happened, that's the disconnect. And that is the only difference. But everybody, I believe, could have 5 seconds been on a spectrum somehow or another. And probably is, if we add in, adult tantrums. I mean, there's so many things that I see that when I worked in the autism community. But I said, I know kids that do that who weren't diagnosed. I'm sorry. And it's just not at that degree, but it's still, another level. So I don't know. I agree with you that I don't think that, I'm not sure if I'm loving labels and,
Gina just made an amazing point. She said, she said, it's hard for him, the bills, and it takes time. And it's like, there's this idea in American culture that when you turn 18, that you move.
Yes.
And in most other countries, that is not the truth.
Exactly.
Like, in most other countries, you stay in the home till 25, 30.
Till you marry.
Yeah. You help pay the bills.
Yep.
You make the house bigger, maybe you add on a new room or you build a mother-in-law, but for whatever reason in this country we have this idea that your kid hits 18 you kick them out.
Well, that's because some people don't like their kids. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's just the way it is. I think it's the whole army training and they can be drafted and that turned into their adults, and once they're adults, I'm not paying for your shit and all this shit. And it's like at 39 I'm still learning things that make me better overall. If I was 22, I'd still be learning things. At 62, I think you still learn things. So this definitive timeline on what success is, or who success is, or what success is for everybody is different.
Right.
And then, like in Gina's case, maybe just got the smelly kid. There's normal people who don't want to shower every day. It doesn't have anything to do with autism. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. So, very true. What'd she say? This is true, Dante. In other countries, it's generational. Yep. U.S. is just a weird space. I hold. Continues school. I will help him long as he continues. So I'm helping him, but he struggles. So yeah, I think we all struggle, Gina. So I know I understand what you're saying, that you may think it's more, but in reality, I think I know plenty of kids that are struggling and they're not on any spectrum at all. So I think
that's the other part. Is the biggest thing I think my shows have done for me is you have a support group, you have a following.
Yes.
Tell them to watch some of the shows. Tell them to not take life so seriously. Tell them to reach out and see if there are any autism resources in his area, and start going down those lines and avenues before you start really feeling any way about anything.
Yeah, because once he finds his tribe, he'll be high sailing. How long? What made you? Did you ever have odd moments or anything like that made you this help bring this to where it is now? So you have good memory. Like, I don't want that to happen to somebody.
It's the whole idea just growing up in between. I tell everybody I'm a jock nerd, and I don't think they understand. Yeah. Right. Because to be honest, I was a football captain and I was a peer mediator. I was also graduating a year early, went to school on academic scholarship, and a couple other things.
Wow.
So it's not like I said, I was kind of a decent student, but more than just a decent student, kind of just more than successful. So I can remember, like, for me, it's the interactions with women. I've had women tell me before, like, don't make this awkward. Go take off your clothes, go lay down. I was, I'm staying. I've also right on the same thing, right? People are being nice to me and using good language, and I'm like, she's hitting on me. No, I'm just doing my job and being friendly, right? So I the how can I put it, the evaluation and understanding and comprehension of people's nonverbal communication can be totally missed by me. Or totally perceived. And what I mean by that is I can tell somebody's insulting me without other people really noticing, because I've noticed a pattern that every time I see you, you say, "What's up, fat boy?" or you got something smart to say. Oh. Because I keep track of that. Every time I've seen you, you got something smart to say, and you're taking a little, obviously you don't like me. Right. Or the little things in tone, or when people's tone or message don't match what they're doing, it's hard for me. And then on the other sense, when people do shit to me that may seem insequential or an issue or just bad, I don't know how to just let that go.
Well, I think I don't know. I think you've done a fabulous job, because I don't know how you can put on all them shows and everything's always on point. And I know there's days you say, I'm not feeling happy today, or whatever you say. But still, I think you do a phenomenal job. And I think you're a great service to other people who may be feeling like, man, I can't do this, or I don't have no way. And they may look at you and say, well, I can do anything I want to do, because, what's my, like you said, write down your goals. What are your goals? The fact that you can even think about having any would say a lot. But just to see someone putting things out there, the dating thing, the different comedy shows for Black comics, for people with disabilities, for people on the spectrum. I think it just makes everybody want to up their game more. And then for people that are in the audience, for them to learn something else about something different, and not fall into the stereotypes. So
that was the fun one about, and I appreciate your compliment. That's the fun one about dating with disabilities and even autistic artists, is I've had people watch those shows and message me and be like, you guys don't seem weird. You guys don't seem normal, right? Or you guys, And it's like, well, you've also got to understand there's 6 of us with a common issue.
Right.
And we're all comfortable with each other. So our conversations are very friendly.
Right.
And if you watched Autastic Artist this morning, I had the lady damn near crying and fanning her. You know, when white people fan themselves, that means they're really laughing, especially white women. Oh my God, I gotta fan away these tears. Like, but it's the idea of having fun and then still being able to take it there and have that. You know, like I got to go back and watch my episode because I think I wrote like a 5-minute set just off of me ad-libbing about. And then that's also how, for me, I'm not a good writer because I don't like to write. I like to do my comedy off of experience. So these podcasts have really opened me up to talking more about my experience, which gives me more material for the stage, right? And so when you think about these things, it's not if anything, your Gina's son now has 2 shows that he knows he can watch, that he can identify with and know people are going to be a little weird on, and we're not perfect and we're a little socially awkward. And you start there. If you know, I don't care how isolated you are, you still got the internet. So send me a message. I'll get him hooked up with the Autastic Academy and the Neurodiversity Newsstand and all these other autistic groups where they're constantly putting out data or something to watch or something to interact with, and so on and so forth. And so when you look at these things, it's like, it just depends. What are you looking for? What do you want to do? And then are you going out and actively making those resources available? At some point, if you don't see the help you want, you got to be the help you need.
Yes, exactly. And that's the beauty of it, of what you're doing. So hopefully someone else be inspired and say, maybe there's something else I can do and take it a step further. So I really appreciate you. Can you let us know what's going on and what you're up to, as far as what's new and what we can support you in?
Well, definitely. I'm pulling up my calendar right now because that's how I work these
I've
days.
seen those before.
If I don't know, you've seen my
we have that much time.
So tonight we've got Mixed to Misidentified at 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Next Sunday we have Soul Sister Sundays. If you're in Seattle, Friday the 30th, we have 2 shows at Laughs at Lo-Fi, a performance gallery. And then every first Sunday of the month, we do Autastic Artists and Dating with Disabilities. So you've got those. And then depending on what you want to look at, just go to suitmancomedy.com. All our contact info is there. You can look up Suitman Productions on YouTube, Spotify, anything Autastic Artists, Dating with Disabilities. We're on all the what do you call them? The internet radios, Spotify's, whatever the hell those are. I'm getting old. That's how you know I'm getting with the thingamajiggers. You know what I mean? The thingamajiggers.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. And so I put the banner up, and anybody can reach out to him or myself if you forget the information. It should be on there, but if you do, you can reach us. And any last requests, as they say? Just tonight at 7 p.m., right?
Here would be my request. If you know, take 5, take 10, take 15 minutes out of a month. I don't even want to say a whole day. Let's just say a month. And each month, try to find somebody you know that is autistic. Because you know somebody. You know a couple.
1 in 68 children.
You know what I mean? And have a conversation. Ask them, how does this affect you? How can I help you? How can I support you? I promise you, if you try that, right, and it's not going to be an overnight thing, right? But if you try that, you might find a way to get better, right? And what I mean by get better is get better with your relations, get better with your understandings, right? Get better at supporting your community and get better at really understanding what's going on. If you did that, you would really have an understanding of what autism is, how you can help your family, your friends. You know, even in Gina's case of her son, she feels like she's probably got some great news and some feedback and some ideas. So take the time to watch a special, watch something, learn something, research it, ask.
Right. Wow. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. What you say, comedy. Yes, thank you, Gina. I appreciate that. She always puts it in the chat for me in case I can't type while I'm talking because it's rude. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I see you out there, Gina. And who's that? Eduardo. Hey, what's up? And who else? I saw Grandma somewhere. Donna, what's up, guys? So nice to see you. Thank you for watching. I guess that's it. So tonight, if you get a chance, go on Suitman Productions Facebook page, right? That's it, to see the show.
Suitman Productions on Facebook. In about an hour and a half, we'll be starting Mixed to Misidentified.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. And so we'll check that out. And so I'm sure someone will ask me, and I'll make sure I refer them to the right thing. So before I leave, I like to play this. I like to play this little parody I'm trying to add one every time I end the show now. So here's one sketch that we came up with. All right, ready? Here we go. Actually, I have two of them. Let's see. Ready? Here we go. So.
Hello, ma'am. May I help you?
Hi. Can I please have 4 cream cheese bagels with cream cheese and lox on it, please?
Ma'am, do you realize that that's going to be pretty expensive?
Why, yes, I do. And I'd like some capers, too, while you're at it.
That's going to be really expensive, ma'am.
What do I look like to you, chopped liver?
We also have chopped liver that's really, really expensive.
Do you barter? I'd gladly give you my, let's see what I got here. I'd gladly give up my Ferragamos tomorrow for 4 bagels, cream cheese, and lox and capers today.
I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't barter, but we do accept food stamps.
How about I stamp my initials on your forehead? One more.
I'm pleased and honored to be here with the famous psychic, direct from Italy, Miss Tanya Vermicelli. Hello, Miss Tanya.
Ciao, Tony. Ciao. Come stai? Tu va bene?
Thank you. Miss Tanya, can I get my palms red?
For sure. Get some red paint and a brush, and then your palms are red, Tony.
Miss Tanya, do I have a future in comedy?
Let's see. Yes, you have a future in comedy, and it's bleak. I can see you at the nations of the top comedy clubs, Tony, standing at the back, mangieri, let's see, eating out of the dumpster. Wait, espera un momento, per favore. Wait. I can see you in 1 year, Tony, doing stand-up in the shower. It's not a very pretty sight either. Oh, wait. Now I see you, Tony, in 5 years doing stand-up in the nursing home. And you're wearing a Delta diaper, Tony. No pants. Oh, Tony, this is not looking good. Just an adult diaper. An adult diaper, Tony. An adult diaper. Tony, I see you keep saying the same joke over and over and over and over and over again, and they keep laughing because they can't remember shit. This will be your greatest stand-up ever, Tony, ever. I see that you're going to be famous, Tony. Because of 2 movies coming out about your love life, Mission Impossible and Home Alone 4. Yes. You will be a hit, Tony, with the ladies. They will depend on you, Tony, or expect them to put on their depends. You would meet a friend named John. You two will be doing a live podcast, Tony, for all of the ladies. You will be a DJ on the wheels of steel. Yeah, Tony, with the new walker. All the ladies will think that you have the new Mercedes 2021, the walkers, okay? Tony, I see you getting a new girlfriend, Tony. Her name is Doris. But you call her Big Mama because she has a fat ass. Huh. I tell you, Tony. Okay, Tony, okay, this session is over. Thank you very much. That will be $500, please, and your firstborn.
But Miss Tanya Vermicelli, I don't have any children.
What? You don't have any children? Che cosa fai, eh? With a name like Tony Viagra, you have to have a many barns. Go shit in your shoe.